Welcome back, guys. Here with Orhat, the renowned, the legendary. Who just planted a flag on Vall. Pretty impressive feat. Only a few people have accomplished something like this. I think Jebeidah is one of them. Only ever had like 4 or 5 guys out on the surface of Vall. But it is time to get back in the ship and continue with our rescue mission of what's his name? Jebeidah Kerman and the Laythe crew. Basically the entire crew of the ship called the Ultimate Lander. So we'll just hop on in. The first order of business is to refuel the Augustus 4. Oh look, the ladder doesn't work. Good thing you're an engineer. I guess we'll push it in, maybe? Oh, other way, man. Oh no, the ship's moving, isn't it? Why is the ship moving? It's moving a lot. Okay. That is crackety. Please stop moving, spaceship. I bet once we get in, it'll be fine. Alright. Do we dare deploy the drill in this? I've never ever had an issue like this. We'll get the solar panels out now. Yeah, we're just wobbling back and forth. So weird. Extend the radiators. I don't know, some weird cracking problem. We'll see what happens if I just turn off stability control. Oh. Oh no, we're in a lot of trouble. It's okay, still got a couple hundred beers per second. I guess we'll just land somewhere else. Orhat, you suck as a pilot. These are some shenanigans for sure. They only have about 150 meters per second, so we definitely need to push down, you know. Now we're running out of fuel for the RCS. Let's play that drill again. Alright, just gonna time warp stop it because it's ridiculous, quite frankly. Alright, let's go. So, looks like we are struggling to charge because there's not enough solar energy. So that's not very fun. And now it's nighttime all of a sudden. I think we have another solar panel in here, a protected one. I'll use some of that. Help offset the charge. I did bring RTGs. Now when I go max time warp, nothing happens. Why is that? Stops mining. Man, can we just time warp through all the bad parts? Alright, here we go. Thank you, game, for doing what I want you to do. So now we are fully fueled. Should let's warp to the daytime. Should have plenty of fuel to get to the Laythe. We'll only get hit Laythe low orbit because we need to aim pretty precisely for where we're going. Track this ladder. So we'll be pushing off to orbit soon. As soon as we get all the ships sorted. Orhat as an engineer is kind of well suited for stuff like that. Now, the one weakness of this mission is that Orhat has no pilot. So, we have limited probe control if we don't have direct connection to the KSC. We will have to retract the antenna during landing of the spacecraft, which I am a little bit concerned about, admittedly. But that'll only be on Laythe's atmosphere, because Laythe is atmospheric and the antenna can destroy it. So, take off from Laythe. Now leaving Laythe, take off from Vall, I should say. Now leaving Vall, going to Laythe shouldn't be that difficult. I think we're supposed to get rock here, weren't we? Yeah. Can't get it now. Yeah. Except in their mission plan flag on Bop. Just because we're in the area. And it's easy money. We'll do that with the Augustus 3 crew, I believe. They still have to get to pull, refuel their spacecraft. But the nice part is that if Orhat fails, we do have a second crew of Kerbals in the system. A very capable lander who could possibly help out. And they have a refueler tank. Now this thing is theoretically a Laythe SSTO. Never tested it. But I think the landing on Laythe shouldn't be too difficult as long as we don't have any atmosphere problems. Hitting our target might be kind of hard. So we'll have to be careful with that. But I do kind of want to burn a decent amount of our fuel off just to make our Laythe landing as easy as possible. I want to have enough margin to, like, you know, safely land. but maybe fly over a little bit in case we miss the target. But I don't want us too heavy, so we don't slow down or anything. Come in too fast, land too hard. Excuse me. So, we'll be hitting orbit pretty soon. I will say this though, I think this is one of the more beautiful craft I've made. This might be one of my best landers ever. Yeah, I'm gonna push our Apopsis out a little further, just so we can time warp. Kerbal Space Realm has always like weird limits on like when you can time warp and when you can't. So I'm for a target vector. Alright, now we can time warp. I think Vall's probably one of my favorite moons. I love the refuel on Vall. It's a little bit heavy for a refueler, but it is centrally located, which I think makes it easier to get to than a place like... Actually, I think... yeah, I think it's easier to get to than a place like Pole. Definitely quicker to get to. So, it took like decades to get to Pole. But we did some shenanigans. If you follow the series, you will know that the Augustus 3 really struggled to get to Pole orbit. Still actually hasn't made it there. It's currently in Joule orbit right now. Augustus 4 was able to get to Pole orbit though. So. Alright, let's circularize. Great. Now we have to plot a transfer from Vall to Laythe. Transfer window opens in about a day, so just time warp to that. Excellent. Now how do we get to Laythe from here? We will want to be burning in Laythe's direction. Or retrograde to our own orbit, I should say. So, something like that, kind of. Oh, there we are. Now, relative velocity we'll be hitting Laythe, that should be not super high. So, but I think we'll circularize. Instead of doing like an aero brake to circularize, we'll just burn. It only takes, like, what? 250 meters per second to get down there. So about 300 for the transfer. So... probably gonna be... I don't know, 400 circularize maybe, if even. Alright, let's go there. Says we have direct connection to the KSC right now. Always good. It's gonna let the ship orientate itself. Let's actually check our connections. So we currently connect to, what was this, probably 3 relays. Yeah, alright, get ready for all our relays. 4, 9, and the KC. Alright, so we're almost like in connection to like the whole relay band. I would prefer us to have more relays out here. I don't think we even have any in the Joule system. Oh, we got Agrippa. Agrippa has a relay. But for some reason we're not connected to it. Probably because the planet's in the way. But we'll make sure to time our landing around Laythe in the appropriate time so that the Agrippa relay has a good connection with us. Did start the burn a little bit late. And that's whatever. Oh. Is that having us move towards the planet or with the planet? That's the opposite of what we want. Okay, those ships around continue their burn. We have to make sure we hit the planet at the correct, like with the planet's rotation, I should say. Yeah, we won't be aiming for blue Drake. Which means we're gonna want to change our inclination at Laythe, I think. Okay. So that's 1,000 meters of circular eyes, but should put us in a good spot because we increased our inclination so we could reach down to the crash ship's position on the planet. Because it's not on the equator, it's on like an island offset from the equator. Alright, looks like we entered the Laythe Sphere of Influence. There we go, world first. Crew transfer. And docking. And space station. And rendezvous. Spacewalk and orbital pull. Nice. Rendezvous. I got some money for an EVA test for some reason. Not sure what that's about. Oh, 3 million. Yeah, we're rolling in it now. It says our burn time is only 37 seconds. Not sure I believe that. Maybe it's true. Start the burn at 30 seconds. Just to be safe. So this is Laythe capture. Slightly inclined. That's why we're aiming like that. So it's a little bit more expensive than you would think. So I don't know. About 70% retrograde, and then 20% normal. So. The composition of the burn, I mean. You know, I think we might try to do a Tylo mission too. It is super risky, but I think we do actually have the fuel for a Tylo mission with this lander. Nope. Diving into the atmosphere. Emergency prograde. So we gotta raise the orbit slightly. We just lost probe connection. That does worry me. Now, Blue Drake is not in a good spot for us to hit right now. So... It looks like we'll have to hit it in the nighttime, which I'm not a big fan of. So I'm gonna wait for Joule to orbit some more. Or will we always have to hit it in the night? Yeah, I think we're always gonna have to hit it in the night. Let's see, what if we did... If we did something like this, where go retrograde here, just barely. Try to get peri-ups around 40. And then we'll just burn off, I don't know, 600 or 700 meters per second once we're over target. Burn like this might help us hit the target. We'll see how fast planet moves. Let us go down even more. Just count for the planet's rotation some. Alright, that should get us pretty close to over target. This is a little bit more expensive burn, but let me check our connections. Alright, so right now we're bouncing through the Agrippa. But when we're on the other side of the planet, we won't have the Agrippa to help us out. I don't know, man. I think we'll be able to do a landing, but we may not be able to do like a fine control landing, you know? Or even that though. Looks like we'll be missing the target, going a little bit too far north. So I think I'm gonna do the rest of this mission on the vector engines. Let me track the antenna, see if we still have control. Should we pro control still, or? Okay. So the wretched Laythe relay. What's that one? It's on the other side of the planet, though. Sounds like it'll help us once we're near it, but I think that's the only thing that actually gives us connection. We'll see what happens. Yep, no connection. Limited probe control. Should have put a pilot on this thing. I'm an idiot for not doing that. I'll turn on OCS though. I think we'll go radio out for entry into the atmosphere, just to slow down a lot. Let the atmosphere break for us. And then, or hang on, actually, we need to go retrograde right now. We're going way too fast. We can only do maximum energy burns. Let's go. Super aggressive ascent into the atmosphere. You don't actually recognize where we are. That was the crazy part. Now we'll go radio out. Burn off more of the atmospheric energy. So, since we are going retrograde, or since I did that big retrograde burn, we actually are at a pretty good spot. You know what, let me set the safe altitude of these really high up, because last time that was kind of an issue. Alright, so I can see the target, Laythe 1. And it doesn't look like we have much of a chance to stay elevated, but I'll try to keep the ship pointed direction I want. I'm not rotating it into the path of the atmosphere, just because I don't have any probe control for right now, fortunately. But it does look like we will be slowing down quite significantly. I'm gonna go ahead and just point retrograde right now. Just so we have the ship stuck in a good spot when it hit the thinner part of the atmosphere. Although it does look like the wings are actually counteracting that. Let me see if I can transfer from the header tank down into this tank. Alright, just had a shoot deploy on us. So it looks like we'll be about 20 kilometers short of our target. It's honestly closer than I thought we'd be. Now that does present some problems, but nothing too serious. I'll go ahead and deploy the rest of our shoots right now. Just slow us down some even more. Probably should have left at least one in reserve in case the parachute's ripped off from the atmospheric force, but they appear to be doing okay. Going down quite dramatically now. First shoot should be deploying. Alright, we got 2 shoots deployed. I cut the RCS to save us some fuel. Alright, so far this Laythe landing is going much better than the last one. Yeah. We will still have to time the actual braking burn. We can only do max thrust because Orhat is not a pilot. I don't know why we sent an engineer alone on this mission. We even had a pilot and we transferred him out of the ship. Don't look at me, man, I just work here. Alright, well, once we get sub 1,000 meters per second, the rest of our, or sub 1,000 meters altitude, the rest of our shoots should deploy. They'll slow us down even more. So we'll have less of a burn to do. Awesome. Cut our velocity in half. Now we just got time the landing. I think we're landing on relatively stable ground too, which is good. See if we can find a shadow. That's a lot. This will be tricky. Oh, radial out, I mean. Like a glove. Ah, come on. Oh, that sounded like an explosion. Oh, come on, come on, come on. Stay up, stay up, stay up, stay up. Please, 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 please. Can't have another ship crash here. Oh no, it's gonna tip over. Oh, that's inevitable. It's gonna tip over. It has to. There's no way it doesn't. Ah! It didn't tip over. Oh my god. Yeah, this is gonna sound really messed up, but I think I have to send this thing back to orbit, get a pilot in it, and then send it back down. Alright, Orhat, gracefully falls to the surface in typical Kerman fashion. Blew out the landing legs. Not good. You know, we may just have to have a Kerbal run over here. It's gonna take forever though. You know, I think I'm just gonna have him take off. See if we can even take off. See what time is it? Gotta get some stuff started soon, but Laythe 2. And this rescue mission just will not end. Orhat Kerman here. I have successfully landed on Laythe in an attempt to rescue the stranded crew of the ultimate lander. Fortunately, I have lost the landing legs, and I am not a good pilot. So, I will be going back. See if we can even get into the ship. You know what we're doing? Could take this off. We don't need that little bit of extra height because no landing legs. But seems kind of crazy to leave after all that, but I think we have to. You know, I'll save it for the next episode though. We won't do anything too controversial today. Actually, you know what? Can we just get Jeb over here? Where is Jeb? Let's go check him out. I don't think we have any rover parts, so we'd have to run all the way over here. Oh. Oh, you guys go do it. So it looks like we only have 4, 5. 1, 2. Hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 Kerbals need to be saved. Ultimate lander takes 10. So. Alright, Jebeidah. How fast can you run? Ooh, a Laythe geyser. So. If it was to EVA all the way over at 4 times warp, we move about 100 meters, and I'll count it in a second. Oh, geyser. Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4. I do think we'll be able to run over there. It's gonna take a while, but we could run over there. We won't do it in this episode. We'll do it in the next episode. It's definitely possible, though. It would be much more convenient to have a rover, but I mean, 13 kilometers, like, you can walk that in a day. It's not that big of a deal. For Kerbal, it's kind of a big deal, but it's definitely like towards the edge of the limit. I'd, you know, consider sending a rover next time. I've never actually seen these before. Let's check it out. That's kind of cool. We'll have to send, I think we'll get Jebeidah off with this mission, and then we'll send the rest of the Kerbals go home on the other lander, which we'll have better control over because we'll have a pilot. Yeah, this is kind of a cool little thing. Jewel peeking away. It's Jeb staring at Jewel, thinking about leaving. He's got a tough decision to make. Does he abandon his friends, try to get Orhat back in the Kerbal orbit? I think so, because Orhat probably doesn't have the pilot skills necessary to do it himself, even though flying's not that hard. Thanks for watching this episode, guys. Join us next time to see if Jebeidah can leave the planet. Although it'll probably just be a walking simulator. And then crash simulator.